Welcome to. I'm so far down on the totem pole because Betty's not here, Jim Rich isn't here, Katie's not here, so I'm gonna need to follow myself. So anyway, welcome to Rotary. For those of you that don't know me,
Who are you?
Mark probably, I'm Bill Graham. Anyway, can we all stand? Rotary motto. Well, pledge allegiance here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Bill Payne, would you like to lead us in?
Yes, I'll reverse this. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you. Chip, what are we going to sing today?
Okay, what we've done now. If anybody's been following the news, I think this is
Here, I'll share.
a good time to page 21. When you're smiling.
When you're smiling.
What count?
21.
21.
Obey.
Obey. When you're smiling, keep on smiling. The whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, the sun comes shining through. But when you're crying, you bring on the rain. So stop your sighing, be happy again. Keep on smiling, 'cause when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you.
All right, you may be seated. Thank you. So happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you.
2026 promises to be
Interesting.
a very interesting year. So, first of all, announcements. This is March 3rd. So Mark stated that he would like to be a Rotarian, so based on our bylaws, we have a week.
No, wait, he's got, somebody's got to sponsor him, and then he's got to. Details. You said bylaws, consistent with bylaws.
Paul, you just sponsored it.
So, we have a week, and then the board will vote on it, and then based on that, if there's no objection, you'll be welcome to vote.
And we don't have to let
So
them know.
who brought you in? Jim Rich?
Yes. We'll give Jim his contact.
Okay.
Jim will be your sponsor. There's an application, 1 page,
Details.
details.
Sorry for height and black smoke out of Jimmy.
Do we have any other announcements?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah. So, I wanted to let you know that, our last meeting, which was the 30th, was the last meeting for Rick Hubbard. He is, moving to assisted living in Williamsburg. For those of you that didn't know, Rick has a condo in Williamsburg. He's had it for a real long time. And he also has a condo up in Maine. So, anyway, but that was his last meeting, and we wish him luck, and I imagine the board will talk about possibly doing something for Rick. So anyway, any other announcements?
You may have gotten a thank you email from Rotary International that you had given money to Polio Plus that you didn't realize you'd given. Well, so what we do when we can, and it all depends on the financial picture of but when I can, I add up all of the happy dollars that you have given during the previous 6 months and convert those into a gift to Polio Plus in your name. So you do get something for actually in return for giving happy dollars, because then you get credit towards your Paul Harris, I think those count, Polio Plus contributions.
Yep.
Towards your Paul Harris pin.
Super. Super. And by the way, we, for the Purple Pinky last week, we had some additional monies, so we had a total of $244. So that was great. Thank you. Any other announcements? All right, happy dollars. Happy dollars? Yes, Bill.
Am I the only happy?
No.
I don't always want to go first.
Okay, Chuck.
Not really happy, I'll call it sad dollars. Tomorrow I hit 75 years old. So, not real happy. Beats the alternative.
Is that $5?
How much?
$10.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I think they're paying you.
Yeah, well, I was gonna celebrate Chuck's birthday since he's done it. I'll have to have another happy dollars. I have 5 happy dollars because Karen's back after a few days away.
So sweet.
I'll do that.
Joan? Go ahead.
Like Chuck, I am happy because I am here, and this is 2006. This year I turned 83.
All right.
Oh, you're a baby. Happy when you're young.
Huh?
How happy?
Graham.
I'll do
I am
$5.
$83 happy.
Katie.
Oh!
Okay, so Graham just said he would give 5 happy dollars because Katie is here.
And Katie should be doing your job.
I know. Too late to run the meeting now,
Paul?
huh? Yeah. So I've got 20 happy dollars. 10 of it is because I won't be here next week, and the reason I won't be here is that I'm traveling to northern Sweden above the Arctic Circle with some other guys, and we're going to be we're in a national park up there, which apparently has a nice window. It's seldom cloud covered, so we've got our fingers crossed that we'll be able to have a great display of the northern lights. That we'll make.
There's plenty of pictures.
And secondly, I'm happy because I discovered in catching up with the newspapers that our member, Wayne Bell, was featured in an article in the Eastern Shore Post. And I'll get an electronic copy of this and have Libby put it in the next newsletter thing.
Great.
All right. So $20 now.
All right, Pete.
Yeah, $5 happy dollars because my wife's coming back from New York tomorrow. Jeff, $20, because my wife wanted me to come along with her to Italy for a month, so it's $5 a week.
Any other happy dollars? All right, how about the Queen of Hearts? Who's got the top card? King, come on, somebody put it up. There's a king, King of Diamonds. Diamond beats clubs. King of Diamonds? Nobody's got an ace? All right, Chuck Slater, what's,
Surprising.
Okay, good luck, Chuck. Oh, you're 73.
Hey, happy birthday, Chuck.
all right, Chuck. Oh, Queen of Clubs. How much was that in that pot?
How much is in the pot?
What is it? Did your mom? The Queen Art?
No, Queen of Clubs.
The money's in the thing.
So, we got $39, it came in today, and, so 20 of that goes to the club, and leaving 19, and half of that, or 10, goes to the winner. Who was that?
Chuck.
It's my birthday gift.
Happy birthday, Chuck.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, so our program today is going to be bio of Mike O'Brien.
Hey.
I guess he is our newest member, so, Mike, the floor is yours.
I'm Mike O'Brien, as you said. I'm a hot Rotarian, happy to be here, honored to be in this group. And, I sometimes tell people I strive to be profound, but that's really hard. I'll settle for funny anytime. That includes laughing at me. Turns out that works, right? So, before I launch into my life story, I'm going to tell you a story that I usually manage to get last. So when I was at Kraft Foods, we had 50 business engineers. Each one had a category. I was Capri Sun, ready to drink beverages. And at the Christmas party with 10 other of my peers in Tarrytown, New York one year, my boss lifts up his glass and he goes, Mike, you're the #1 business engineer at Kraft Foods this year. And my brain immediately racing. I'm sitting next to Les. What's he talking about? Les taught me the job. And then the next second, I'm like, yeah, #1, how cool is that? And then and the next nanosecond, I'm thinking, how could they measure that? And I saw he was still smiling. He had paused, and he said, #1 business engineer at Kraft Foods this year in entertainment expense. And he got lashed with the punchline 4 more times, and just by saying entertainment expense, people guffawed at the table. And I had learned in college a good retort to that, and it's great to be recognized by your peers.
Yeah.
So my parents were from Rochester, New York, and Rockland County, New York. I still have 40 blood relatives in New York. My mother was one of 12. She had 8 children, and 10 of her family and 7 of mine are still alive. She was the oldest of 12, I'm the oldest of 8. All of my great-grandparents were immigrants, so obviously none of my grandparents, except one. And Mom told me the family lore was the 5th ship after the Mayflower was our family. It was here, obviously not as early as Jamestown or Enrico, but early 1600s. Okay. Now, in 1676, my great-grandmother times 12, 22-year-old, was carrying her baby son Samuel, and the Indians attacked. A massacre in Mendham, Massachusetts. 100 people were killed, and she took a tomahawk to the back of the head. And the baby, they found, when they were cleaning up the bodies, they found the baby next to the mother, and that was my great-great-grandfather times 11, and he's not here today. So, and my uncle did a lot of research on our family history, and there's books about this town. Why, I have no idea. And so there's a petition in there. These people were serfs in 1670. You paid your silver to the Lord every year, and so the petition was It pleased, I love the wording of this, it pleased the Lord that the Indians struck and burned down my barn, and killed my livestock and part of my family. That was how you started this. I don't know if that's the way they spoke then or that's the way lawyers spoke then, but still, imagine the peace of mind. When no matter how bad something is, it pleased the Lord. It's what was meant to happen. Members of my family fought in the French and Indian War, and answered the call of Lexington conquered, and not in another war after that, which again may be the reason I'm here. I was born in Rahway, New Jersey. My dad worked for Standard Oil of New Jersey, and I didn't know it till years later, but I was living in the largest industrial area in the world. The largest oil refinery in the world was not in Texas or Saudi Arabia, it was in Linden, New Jersey. Every big company had their factories there. Chemical, motor vehicles, pharmaceutical companies used to build their factories near population centers, and we were right east of New York City, west of New York City. So eventually my dad bought a house in Cranford, New Jersey, which is where I went to school. Played all the sports in Sandlot and none in high school. Hockey, basketball, football, baseball. I went to Catholic school. I was an altar boy in 5th grade. One of the last years you had to learn a Latin Mass and the Latin responses. I was from an Irish Catholic family, so Catholic that if you had 2 sons, you showed one of them the honor of joining the priesthood. And my uncle's a Catholic priest, and he has 1 brother. Why my mother persisted in thinking that I was priest material. How many people's parents are called down to the school in kindergarten? Right, 2nd grade, 6th grade. But she always believed in me, God bless her. At the end of high school, I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to be a chemical engineer like my dad. I didn't get along with my dad. I went to my high school guidance counselor, and she got me a job as an auto radiator. I was actually a delivery man and learned to repair car radiators. And the old timer in that place told me, we are the descendants of the blacksmith. When people stopped having horses, somebody that could work with metals learned how to did that, and that's what I did for 11 years till I got out of college. I also learned in 1971 that 20% of all jobs in America had something to do with the automobile industry. Fixing them, selling them, pumping the gas, or making 20%. It's probably true now. So after doing that a while, I tried to buy a shop out in California. Didn't work out. I came back 6 years later, couldn't find a good job paying what I made when I left. Went down to the police department, 1-page application. My hometown police department. Name, address, first question, do you drink? Well, yeah, on the same line, just 2 more words. To excess? I crumpled that thing up and threw it. I said, when I can answer no to that question, I'll get a job with a gun. When I tell cops that story, they go, oh, you should have lied. We all do. So I went back to my high school guidance counselor. I asked her for a college that was close, cheap, and had a baseball team. Thought I still had a shot. I didn't make the baseball team. I did play NCAA volleyball, and I got a degree in chemical engineering, and that changed my life.
What was the school?
It was New Jersey Institute of Technology in Newark. It used to be called Newark College of Engineering, and it's New Jersey's big state school for technical. Similar entrance requirements to Rutgers, it's not MIT or Cal Poly, but stacks up. And again, we were in the largest industrial area in the world, and every one of those companies was recruiting. And if you got a degree, you knew you could get a job, and I did. So I started in Maxwell House, Hoboken, New Jersey, which was at the time the largest food packaging factory in North America. 7 million pounds a day, all coffee. I know that because years later I worked at a 5 million pound a day plant that was now the largest because they closed that one in 1991. My first project was Sanka decaffeination. I have United States patents in supercritical fluids, which are too complicated to explain here, but we designed a process that was 300-ton reactors, largest crane in the world, 44 truckloads of steel to put the 300-ton reactors into 800 tons of steel down in Houston, Texas. Operating pressures almost 5,000 psi. Your tires 30. And so it was great fun. And when it was over, it was like somebody pulled a shade down on my career. All of a sudden, like, what do I do? Now I got to go be a food engineer at General Foods and Kraft Foods and adapt. I knew nothing else. And so I'm working with the bakeries, Entenmann's, Jell-O, Kool-Aid, all of the brands that General Foods owned. And then eventually I ended up out in Champaign, Illinois, at the largest plant, still the largest food packaging plant in North America, that made processed cheese, mac and cheese, and Miracle Whip, and Miracle Whip and salad dressing. There was a cheese and dairy engineering for the last 10 years there. I started to get engaged with American Institute of Chemical Engineers, just as something that, the company would pay me to go to that. It was better than my day job to get a week off in some place where they were having that. And I ended up meeting a ton of people that worked in the pharmaceutical industry. The Women's Initiative Committee, I had Kraft sponsor it, pay the money for it, get guest speakers, and all of these women, they all had PhDs in chemical engineering. Getting a bachelor's was hard enough for me. And they were all so dedicated and believed in everything they were doing so much. They're creating the drugs that are saving lives, and they believe that, and I do too. And it's when I started telling myself, I'm wasting my life making cheese whiz. I have 5 children of my own, ranging in age from 27 to 42. 2 grandchildren, they're all in Illinois. I blew up a 40-year marriage out there. It's not one of the things I wouldn't wish that misery on anybody. And I was on the scrap people life, and I was working on the 45th reunion for my class. We're doing on time.
You're great, you're great.
I'll tell a little side story. So the 40th reunion, I walk in with my buddy, and we go to the place where they always have the Friday night icebreaker at the same town, same place. And we walk in the door together for the 40th, and we look over in the corner and we see all these tiny little shriveled up old people, and we both turn to each other at the exact same moment and say the exact same thing. Man, we look good. And I promise you, I've never ever said that about myself even one other time. And we walk over to the corner and we find out that's not the class of 51. It's not the class of 71 hours. It's the class of 61 at their 50th reunion. And that's when I vowed we have to have a 45th before we look like that. And so I end up running that reunion, and I'm running it with a couple of people who volunteered for my class, and one of them is Susan Gray. And we're doing this remotely. I live in Illinois, she lives in Virginia, other people are living in New Jersey where we're going to host the reunion. And she was a gal that, my high school had over 500 kids per class, so there's 500 girls in this building, and there wasn't a single male who wouldn't have noticed this one. There might have been 10 girls just as pretty, but there was nobody as hot. She was the hottest girl. And she had this incredible long black hair down to her ass. And she'll even tell you that. But the funny thing is, she thought we were looking at her hair. So we lived in Richmond together. I moved in with her soon after I got served divorce papers, I guess less than 6 months later. We were dating, and we got married a year after that, a year and a half after I met her. And after a while, she wasn't happy in Richmond. And I said, well, why don't you, I was working up in Rochester, like I am now. And I said, well, why don't you go look around, talk to a real estate person. She came out to Bay Creek, took the, whatever they call Discovery Tour, and found a lot, 50 grand. She said, why don't we buy it as an investment? And I kind of knew that's not why we were buying it, but I said, all right. And months later, we talked to a builder, put our house up for sale, jumped off a cliff together. Had no idea how much we were gonna end up spending on that house, but we did build a house here and have lived in it now. We'll be in this area 4 years on February 2nd. And so that's how I ended up here. Now, when was the clock dedication downtown? What month was that? Last year. August. August, okay, so my chronology here, is I am almost done, but I did have a couple more things to tell you. So I met Peter at the clock, I'm gonna tell you the other story first. So last year, I'm preparing to go to the All-Star game in Atlanta. It's my favorite sports event. So I had a buddy down here, he's 3 years older than me. He was the 3-sport star of my high school. He lived on my street. You know, it was he's the point guard in basketball, he's the halfback in football, and he's the shortstop in baseball. He's our hero, and he's 75 years old, and so we're gonna go. He lives in Atlanta. He's like, come stay at my house. We're gonna go to the game. 3 weeks before the game, I get a text on his phone from his wife. Mike, this is Barbara. Has catastrophic. Broke his neck. Body surfing in the Gulf. And he's unresponsive at the hospital. So, I cancel my flights. I watch his memorial. His memorial online because I couldn't make it to his funeral. And they're talking about this guy going to Africa and the number of things he did for other people. I'm like, all right, well, I could never compete with Kevin, but I'm falling a little short here. I met Pete at the clock, and he said our motto is service before self. I said, sign me up, man.
There you go.
Sorry about that. I do have a funny story to tell about my dad dying. So I get a call. I'm down in Houston. We had put my dad to bed in October, 2 months before his 75th birthday. We realized we had to have the party because he wasn't going to make his 75th. And I get a call from my stepmother. She says, Dad wants to talk to all his kids one more time. Get on the phone with him. I could never talk to my dad, so I'm desperately thinking, what can I say? So I said, Dad, what should I pray for? Thinking he's going to say a merciful end or something. He croaked out 2 words. The Giants. So that's my story, folks.
That's great.
All right, good job, Mike.
Thank you.
Any other announcements?
No.
All right.
Well, since we have time, we have 2 students from Northampton going to Lila, and we should probably, I know we'll get 2 more from Broadwater, and the principal is working on 2 additional kids from Northampton, so we'll have another good Lila presence again this year.
So for those of you that don't know what RILA is, RILA stands for Rotary Youth Leadership Awards. And it's a 2-day excursion down to Smithfield. Wakefield. And there's a 4-H camp down there, and that's where they go. All these kids from all over southeast and central part of Virginia get together there, and they learn leadership and that kind of stuff. So it's really a great program, and we sponsor to the fullest, just like we sponsor Boys State, Girls State. So it's really good. Anything else? If not, can we all stand? Please. Like that. The things we think, say, and do. Number one. Number two. Number three. Number four. Number five, stand. Will we have fun? Yes. All right, thank you all. Great job.
I woke up this morning, I was still breathing. There you go. Good start to the day.
Oh. John did a pretty good job last month.
Nice job. What year were you in?
Any questions?
Hey, Mark. Happy New Year.
There's some more cards.
No.
Hey, Chip.